Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make this double swing card today. This is how it works. I've got quite a few ladies in my Facebook group, Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials, that have been wanting me to do a video for this one. I've done the PDF as well. If you wish to join this group, just go in and look for Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials and request to join. There's a couple of questions in there that you'll need to answer. One is why you want to join the group, and the other that you agree to the rules of the group. I've also, if you're watching today and you haven't already subscribed, my YouTube channel is called Creative Gems. Love you to go on there and subscribe. And I've also got a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. All my photos of my cards that I do at my workshops and classes, and these ones as well, they're all in there for you to have a look at. There's no tutorials in that group. All the tutorials and PDFs are in this Facebook group here, Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. So that's all the business side of it. Now we shall get on to this. It's not a lot, not too difficult, a little bit of scoring, but mainly the cutting, but I've got it all set out in order of the way we'll do it. And I'll show you my normal measurement chart that I do up to put on, so you can either take a screenshot of that, but the measurements will be in the description box of this video, so you can get them from there as well, and also the PDFs in my Facebook group. So we shall start with the base, and I've prepped a lot of my pieces beforehand, so bear with me while I go through them with you. My base, I've chosen cherry cobbler and shaded spruce for my main colours, and I've got a DSP. I didn't get the DSP out. The base measures 10 by 6. I have done some of the scoring on that, but I'll go through it with you when we get to it. Then we've got these mats. I have cut one, but I'll show you how to cut them. And I haven't stuck this one down yet. That's the one I've cut. You start off with these here mats, which is my shaded spruce, 5 3/4 by 1 3/4, and there's 2 of those. This was one of them, but I've already cut the piece from it, which is this piece here, which has been cut out of there. And I'll show you an easy way to do that. Put that bit back up there, and I accidentally cut this piece, but it'll be in the right spot anyway. I thought I had one to cut and I had the 2 together, so I've already cut part of one. And then the DSP on that piece is 5 1/2 by 1 1/2, and there was 2 of those. That's the other one there, and that piece was cut out of that. This is a specialty paper. I'll just tell you the name of it. This one here, which is Joyful. A very pretty paper. It's got some music note pieces. It's all got gold flecky pieces through it, and there's a few different patterns in there. That's the DSP. I'll put that piece back away, and we'll show you how to cut that piece as well. It's exactly the same as the mat, but in just a bit different measurement. The inside, center, front and back, which is these here, that's my inside one here. I'll show you on here. That one will be from there. The mat part is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you'll need 2 of those because I've got one for the back, which is over here. And then the white pieces on top are 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, and I've decorated those. I've just done a nice greeting on the top. I'll show you the stamp sets in a minute that I've used. And the back one, I just put those on the corners. And this one, I've just put the flower on the back. That's those pieces. Side panels, that's these here. There's 4 of those. 2 of them are inside, which are these 2 here. The mats are 3 3/4 by 1 3/4, and there's 4 of the mats. But then I've done some embossing. This is just the basics embossing folder in the background there, and these will go on this side, so you'll see them when it's opened, when it's closed shut. And I've just put some decoration on that. So you need 4 mats and 2 of DSP and 2 of embossed. You could do 4 DSP or emboss them all. It's up to you which way you want to go with that. So the DSP here is 3.5 by 1.5, and there's 4 of, but it's up to you whether you want DSP or embossed or all of one. So that's those pieces. And then excuse me, my central horizontal strips, which are the top and bottom here. That's these 2 here, the mats. 3.5 by 1/2 inch. There's 2 of those, one top and bottom. That's the mats, the green. And then the oh, we're still here. Oh, I haven't got the right one there. Hang on, and I'll just measure that for you. I haven't put that one in there. Oh, here we are at the top. I have got it. 3 3/4 by 3/4. That's the mats. There's 2 of those, and then the DSP is 3.5 by 1/2 inch, and there's 2 of those. That's those pieces there. Thought I'd missed a bit there. Then these tiny little squares. The mats are 3/4 of an inch square, and then the top pieces are 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. Now these ones you can cut them, and I've got it here. If you leave them till last after you've cut these pieces, you can cut them out of those. So you'll get plenty out of. You'll end up with 2 of those and 2 of those. So you've got plenty of cardstock and DSP to cut those little ones out of those. I didn't with this because I wanted to show you how to cut them, and I wanted to get these prepped beforehand. That's all the pieces you'll need. Then I'll show you the stamp sets that I used. This is the leaf here on this one here around the edges, and that leaf there is the back one, just the corner of that back one there, and I've embossed those in gold embossing powder. My greeting is from, what did I put? Hoping this one here, from the Brightest Glow set. And my other leaves on the embossed piece, those ones there, I've used this one, not that one, this one under here, that one there, out of, whoops, here we go, Magical Meadow. So that's that one there. Just cut 2 of those in the gold foil. There's lots of gold on these. So that's the stamp sets. We'll put all that aside, keep that ready there. I'll put that up the top for now, get rid of that. Then I do have a template, and the template, the layout will be on the PDF as well. I've done this one. I did do a first one, but it's a little bit hard to see because it was on colour cardstock. So we'll get our main piece to start with, and I'll get my instructions so I don't miss any pieces and get you all tangled up like I do sometimes. Just put that aside. So trimmer scorer. On the long side, we're going to start with the left edge on the 2-inch mark. So this is my left 2-inch mark on here, and I've done this little bit of scoring, but I will show you again, and score from the top down to the 1-inch mark. Now I found it easier, and I have written score from the top down to the 1, but I found it easier if you put it on the 1 to start, because it's easy to line up, and go upwards. So you're going to go up that way and score. Then you're going to go down to 5-inch mark, down here, and down. I'm just checking to make sure I'm in view there. So that's the first score line. Move your left edge across to the 3-inch mark, which is there. Do the same again. From the 1-inch mark, up or down, whichever suits you. We're going up there and 5 inches down there. Then you're going to rotate it 180 degrees and repeat that. So on the 2-inch mark to start, going either from the top down to 1 or from the 1 up to the top. So that way, and 5 to 6 down. Move it across to the 3-inch mark. Just keep watching this back again if you're not sure what I'm doing. So from the 1 inch up and the 5 to 6 down. So that's the scoring on those bits. Now rotate 90 degrees, so you're just going to the short side at the top with the right edge on the 1 inch mark. So we're on this side now, and with that right edge on the 1 inch mark, and we're going to cut from 1 to 2. So this is where it's easier if you line up on the 1 and you don't want to drop your arm piece here until you're ready to cut. And I haven't cut this yet, so I'm making sure I get it right. With that right edge on the 1 inch mark, just double check that, and you're going to cut from 1 to 2. So I'll lift that up again because I'm not quite on the 1. 1 down to 2, like so. Lift the arm up, but leave the cardstock there, and you're going to go from 2.5 to 3. So that's just a little score mark, a little cut mark there, 2.5 to 3, like so. And then I'll flip my page so I'm on the right one. Turn 180 so you're completely around to the other side, and we're going to go the right edge on the 1 inch mark again. You're going to cut from 1 to 2. So hold the arm up until you're ready to cut, and you're going to go from 1 to 2, and then from 2.5 to 3. 2.5 is there, just to the 3. That one there. And then we need to do that again. You're going to, which I missed this step out. Oh no, we haven't. I've got it here. Flip end for end. So you're going to go this way, and you're going to do exactly the same. The 1 inch mark on the right hand side, cut from 1 to 2. I thought I'd missed this in my steps, but I haven't. 1 to 2, lift your arm up, keeping your cardstock on that 1 inch mark, 1 inch score line, side line, 2.5 to 3. Like so, and then rotate 180 this way, and we're going to do the other one on this side with the right edge on the 1 inch mark, and go from 1 to 2. I'm just double checking as I go because I don't want to make a mistake. 1 to 2, lift up, 2.5 to 3, and we've only got a couple of more cuts to do. Now you want the long edge back at the top, and the right edge on the 1 inch mark. Move that aside a little bit, 1 inch mark there, and you're going to cut from 1 to 5. So put the cutter on the 1 inch mark, and you're going to cut from 1 to 5, like so. And then turn 180, and with the left edge on the 3 inch mark, like so, cut from 1 to 5. So we're going from there to 5, 1 to 5, with that on the 3 inch mark on the left edge. And then with the right edge on the 1 inch mark, this is the repeat of the other side, you're going to cut from 1 to 5. 1 to 5. Any little bits that you've missed, you can just snip them with your scissors later. 1 to 5, rotate 180, and with the left edge on the 3-inch, and cut from 1 to 5. Down there. So if you're doing it at home, just keep replaying your video and do one step at a time. I think I went slow enough for everyone to keep up, and that's all of our cutting. So just make sure all your little bits are cut. This one here needs a bit of a snip. There should be a little hinge piece just in here that will not be cut. Just missed a tiny bit here, like so. And you'll see how it folds in a second. This, oh no, it's cut. It's all cut. Most of the time it's just a matter of pulling it. So that's that. Now you're going to fold on the score lines. The score lines are just these little ones at the top here, and you're going to start with a mountain fold. Just push that out of the road, and then a valley fold, and then another valley fold over this side, and then finish with a mountain fold with that in there, valley and mountain. That's got to go. Just try to get it right that way. I might not have got that. I'll double check that later, but I'm pretty sure it went mountain, valley, valley, mountain, just on those top and bottom score lines. And then you can burnish all of those. And because you've cut from different sides of the cardstock, you may have some little rough edges. You can push those out with your bone folder so they flatten down a little bit, because you're flipping end for end, so you're cutting on the opposite side each time. You'll end up with that little ridge sort of cut on parts of your cardstock. But that's okay, that's all done. And that's how it works. The only other part is cutting these C-shaped sections. So we'll put that aside, and I'll show you how to do that one. Well, we've got this here, and I shall get my pieces. All of that, I will put this template at the bottom of your PDF, and all the measurements are on there if you do get stuck. It's easier to watch the video, but this will tell you where your score marks and your cut marks are if you want to go from that. So we have, I've done one, which is that one, and now we'll do this one. So with the long side at the top, that's the 5 3/4 edge, and the right edge on the 3/4 inch mark. So we're on the right side of the trimmer. I'll just move that down a bit. 5 3/4 down over to 3/4, and cut down from the top to the 1 inch. And this is where you could go up again. Line it up on the 1 inch, or you can come down. I find it's easier to line it up first and go up, because when you're coming down, you sort of got to edge your way down to get it to the right spot. But if you've got it lined up that way first, it's easier. Flip from side to side. Now this is this way, and I've already cut this one, but it's the same there. 3/4 inch mark on your right edge, and you're going to cut from 1 up to the top, or down to the 1 inch. Then you're going to go with the short side at the top, and the cut lines on the left. So they're my two cut lines there. They're on your left. And the right edge on the 3/4 inch mark, which is there. Make sure it's nice and straight, and you're going to cut from 3/4 to 5 inches. So we'll go from 3/4, which is there, down to the 5-inch mark, down there, and that should cut that section out, which we've just missed a fraction a little bit there and there. Just trim that with your scissors, and that gives you your C shape. I think it's right. Yep, that's all good. And then the same with the DSP, except it's only 1/2 inch, not 3/4. So we start with the long side at the top and the right edge on the 1/2 inch mark, and cut down from the top to the 1 inch mark. So we'll just hold that up a bit, from 1 inch up or down to the 1 inch. Flip it end for end and do the same, right edge, sorry, on the 1 inch, on the 1/2 inch, getting confused myself, from 1 inch up. Flip it back over, and with your cut lines on your left, and you get put that on your 1/2 inch mark here, and we're going to cut from 1/2 inch to 5 inch. That'll sit there by itself if it's nice and straight, and go from the 1/2 inch there down to the 5 inch, which is there, and that pretty much cut it all out, almost. Just missed this tiny fraction here, and that's out. And that's how you do your C-section. Well, it's not C-section, it's a don't know what you'd call it. I called it a C. So they will fit on there, which I think I've cut this one wrong here. This one here, I think I've had it on the wrong. Wait on, we'll check. Seems right. So here, I've done this one wrong. I might just get another piece out, because that's not right there. I don't think that's on the 1/2 inch mark. We'll just get another little piece out. I've got the DSP here. I think I said the right measurements, but I put it on the wrong edge. We'll just get another piece. Hopefully it's long enough. Yes. And we should cut it to the right size. The C piece on the DSP 5.5 by 1.5. So we'll redo this one. 1.5. And 5.5, which is exactly right. Now I can see that's out because that's too small there. I think that's that one's 1/2 inch, but this one's not quite 1/2 inch. So we'll do this again. So we want this on the 1/2 inch mark. We're going to cut. I'll go back to my paper so I'll make sure I'm right. 1/2 inch mark, cut from 1 inch mark up or down. I will stand up because I can't see. Make sure that's on the 1/2 inch. That's where I went wrong with this other one. 1 inch up, flip end for end, that on the 1/2 inch mark, down to the 1 and cut up. With the cut lines on your left, line that up on the 1/2 inch mark. That looks better. And cut from 1/2 to 5. So from 1/2 inch there down to the 5 inch there. That's better. I could see that other one wasn't right. I'll compare it. This is the old one that I cut. See, it's that much too small. So we'll put that one aside. We might be able to use the scrap on it anyway, and that will fit much better with an even border all the way around, which is right. and this one. These are the only two I've yet to stick down, and I've got my silicone mat here. I'll just use my liquid glue for these. It's much quicker than tape. Plus you've got a little bit of wriggle room to get it nice and straight. So I hope those measurements were fairly clear for everybody. So that's that one. And these, I'm going to put that with the cut. Most of the cut lines are the other way. I'll just burnish out those ones there. Because they're even top and bottom, it doesn't matter which way, you're going to end up with them like that. But if you have it that way, you just flip it around. So I'm sure that makes sense. Doesn't matter which way it goes. The rest assembly is pretty easy. It just goes into the sections where it fits. Hopefully it all's going to fit. Always have one little hiccup on it, but that was an easy fix. This one here, I think I've done this one wrong. Oh dear. I'm going to put that aside. That's too narrow there. We might try that one again. That wasn't right either. Do as I say, not as I do. We'll get another piece of shaded spruce. I don't want to muck it up right from the start, so we may as well cut it correctly. I don't know if it was the one I cut beforehand or after. So this piece is, bear with me, 5 3/4 by 1 3/4. 5 3/4. I've done this so many times, you'd think I'd get it right the first time. By 1 3/4. And we'll have another go. So this one is the long side at the top, the edge on the 3/4. Just double check. From the top down to the 1 inch mark, we're going to cut. This gives me good practice for this one. Up there, flip it end for end on the 3/4 inch mark, down to the 1 inch. Don't move. 1 inch up there. Flip it with the cut lines on the left and that on the 3/4. And we're going to cut from 3/4 to 5 inches. I better stand up because I can't see it. It's there. 3/4 to the 5 inch. If it's wrong, this time it'll be my measurements, but I can see it's correct. I don't know whether it was the one I just cut or the one I cut before when I was prepping. That is better. I'll give a look at this one. Yes, I can see that's wider there now. Don't know which one I did. All back on track. And this one, I'll just put that a little bit more glue on that because it has started to dry out. At least you got to see the scoring. I did tell you the correct measurements, but I just didn't cut mine correctly. So start off doing one on a piece of scrap first. That way you can, if it is wrong, you're not wasting your cardstock. I'll use those bits of cardstock anyway. I use lots of little scrap bits for things. So it's not a problem. So that's those two correct now. So we can put them on first. All this is just a matter of putting all your pieces on. And I'm just going to use my liquid glue again with my mat. There was a couple of things I am going to tell you while we're gluing, because this is the boring bit, watching me glue everything. But if I glue everything to start, you may as well not watch the video. I've got my final workshop for the year coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Or when you watch this video, it'll be, what date's this one? Because I'm recording. I'll be doing one more workshop, one more class. No, sorry, start that again, Laura. I'll have one more video for this year, and then I'm on a break for quite a few weeks, at least 4 weeks, I think. I'm away, and unless I get time to record a couple of videos before I go, there'll only be one more video after this one. So bear with me, and hope to see you all again in the new year, if that's the case. My last workshop will be finished. I've got 16 ladies coming to my final workshop for the year. I think I'm going to fit them all in. Hopefully. I've decided to prep everything beforehand so that all they have to do is assemble. And they don't need to hop up and down to I'm going to put these top and bottom ones on first, to cut. And normally they cut and stamp and everything, but rather than me having all the ink pads and everything out, I'm going to cut and score everything for them and stamp everything for them. So all they have to do is assemble. There is a couple of fancy fold cards, so that will keep them busy for a while. And I think, we've got a Secret Santa that we're having, and yes, should be lots of fun. I've asked them all to wear something Christmassy for the end of the year, and I'm so looking forward to that. I've got some little table gifts. I'm supplying lunch and morning tea. I don't think we'll get to afternoon tea. They'll be probably gone by then. So if I remember, I will do a video from the day, but that will go into my tips and tutorials group if I do a little video in there. But we'll see if we remember. Lots of times if I don't set an alarm for something, I don't remember to do it. Most of the time it's in the back of my brain I've got to do it. So had a rather late night last night, and I'm a little bit tired this morning. That's probably why I did the muck-ups with my cutting this morning, but that's okay, we got them there. These little square ones go in here. If you do all this outer perimeter first, it gives you a guide of where your little pieces go, and then it'll help you with the center pieces where they're going to sit. It's an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around each of your pieces, and the green is an 1/8 of an inch from the DSP as well. So that's all of those little bits. Not long now. We would have been finished a bit quicker if I hadn't have mucked up a couple. So now this one, I'm going to put the middle one in first because this is the front. So that will go in there. Just make it an even border around that one. I've had such a good year with my tips and tutorials group, and there's over 11,000 members in there now, and I've had quite a few new customers and my team's growing. I'm going to Melbourne in March next year. I've already registered, so that will be lots of fun. I'm going with a friend. Lots of fun times ahead to look forward to. So these ones, now I'm going to watch here because these ones will be the inside. As you can see here, I've got the same pattern here as all around there. And then the outside pattern will be my other ones that I've got embossed with the foil on. So just be mindful where you want to put your pieces if you want to match it all up. This is looking quite nice. It's hard to know when you prep everything whether it's going to look good or not. I always pick the DSP that I want to use first. Then I have a look at the colours on the back of the DSP, and I'm going to make sure this goes the same way. It doesn't really matter. have a look at the colours that go with it. In this pack there is this shaded spruce colour, so I chose that as my feature because I thought there was enough red here. The red is further away from this red. I broke it up with the shaded spruce. Then the back pieces, actually we can do it this way. And they will go here. You could put a greeting on one of these, but I just like the greeting inside. And then you've got the back panel that you can write on. So if you've done your cutting correctly, all that should just fit into place. The girls in my group will be loving this. I'm going to move that out of the road. It keeps getting flipped around. I'll do one more video for now after this one, but then we'll see what happens from there on. I've got so much prepping to do between now and when I go on holidays, plus I want to do my Christmas cards, my personal family Christmas cards. So that is that, and then we have one more piece at the back which will go in the center here. So if you open this up, it will show like so. And we'll put some glue on the back of this, which I'm probably out of view down the bottom. Try to be mindful where I'm doing things. And that, if you just line it up with the two bits that are there, gives you a guide. And that's where you can do your writing, and that's the back of your card. It looks quite nice from the back as well. You could go ahead and decorate all this as well, but I think it's quite enough to just do the front. That will sit flat eventually. If you put something heavy on your these fun fold cards, it soon lays flat. So we'll pull that out that way and that way. I was going, yes, I'll just get some embellishments out. It's probably got enough on. The balloon pearls, love these pearls. They're some gold ones in here. Might just use the little ones. There's lots of little ones here. As you can see, I've used most of the big ones. These are my tubs that I keep all my embellishments. Each named embellishment has its own tub. I put the name and then the colours on whatever's. So if I'm looking for a particular colour pearl or a particular colour embellishment, I know the colours are in there. That's my little tip for the day. So we shall just put a couple of little ones scattered around on here, just to brighten it up again. Oops. Sometimes they don't have enough stick on these, and then they end up falling off. That will be enough. That's quite pretty. And that is it. That's my first card there, which it goes this way if we go from the front, Laura. So that's my two cards. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you stuck with me through the cutting, and I hope it made sense to you. If you follow the PDF, it's quite clear in there what you have to do. So do it on a piece of scrap first. That's my suggestion. And then I shall see you all again I'll be on again next week. And then after that, I'll let you know what's happening. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.